to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. Your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. It is an absolute pleasure to have you all with us on another episode of the preview show, which is, of course, sponsored by the incredible Loving My Socials. If you would like to go and check out Loving My Socials, then you can do so by heading over to our website, which is www.thefanzonepod.co.uk, and you can find out all you need to know over there. If any of you own a business or know someone who owns a business, then get in touch with Leanne, because she is magical at what she does. All things branding, website, social media, you name it, Leanne can do it for you. But all of you in the chat, a very warm welcome to you all. It is, like I said before, a pleasure to have you all with us. There are plenty of comments coming through for our Crawley Town preview show. And to join us for this evening's episode is Sam Jordan, an avid Crawley supporter. How are you this evening, mate?
Not bad, thank you.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, you'll have to forgive us. Usually, we do these episodes with a podcast of the opposing club, and I think I have reached out to maybe 5 or 6 Crawley-related media sources or personnel, and struggles on all fronts. But Sam, we are joined by you. Talk to us a little bit about yourself, then. How long have you been a Crawley Town supporter?
I've been a Crawley fan since I was about 7 years old. So back in the Southern League days when we used to play in front of 400 people, and then obviously enjoying what I would call our version of the Premier League and League One. This is kind of our peak, really. Bolton obviously have had the European days with Djorkaeff and Campo, but yeah, this season and the 3 seasons we had previously in League One are the equivalent of Bolton in Europe, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And some nice little shirts behind you. I've got to ask, is that one ending in OS? Is that certain Clyde Lolos?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I got that one out for you tonight. Yeah, Clyde Lolos.
I thought it might have been.
How's he doing with you guys? Doing all right?
He's not too bad, yeah. I wouldn't say he's hit the ground flying. He had a little bit of a rotten start with an injury that he got from Dan Happy after a very nasty tackle. So he didn't get quite the start he was hoping for, but he's definitely showing signs. There is definitely some talent in there that I'm hoping we can unlock for the remainder of this season. I think we all know what he can be capable of. We've just not seen it in quite perhaps the amount we would have liked. You know, part of that being through injury, part of that from not being in the team. But yeah, I think we're all certain that there's a player in there somewhere.
Yeah, and what position has he been playing for you?
Usually just as a bit of a 10, so just behind one of the 9s in either McAtee or Collins, sort of playing just off them, picking the ball up from deep. Is that a similar role to where he played for you?
Yeah, well, I think he kind of played there. He played out wide, he played out front, but I think that is his best position because he likes to run with the ball when he's got a shot, and I think running onto the back 4 with the ball at pace, he's dangerous, and I think that's where he can get most of his goals. So, yeah, he's a unique player. I think not many like him. Definitely dangerous, and he's done well to come from non-league. And I think if he gets a run of games for yourself, I think he'll prove his worth for sure.
Absolutely. Obviously, he's got strong competition now with the likes of Joel Randall coming in from Peterborough. But it was a position that we've lacked some quality depth in. That number 10 role has evaded us for a little while. So it'd be nice to have some solid options there. But we will kick off this evening's episode of the preview show. And our first segment of the evening is our season so far. Crawley Town then some way down the table in 22nd spot, currently sitting on 24.6 behind that safety spot, occupied by Northampton and Peterborough, would you believe it? Talk to us then a little bit about your season. How's it got on? Are you where you expected to be? How have things panned out for you so far?
Well, if you look at the budget, we're actually punched above our weight because we've got the lowest budget in the league. So, I mean, we won our first 2 games. I think everyone got a bit excited. I'm like, hang on a minute. could we be in the top half of the table? So, yeah, won the first two games, and then our gaffer obviously left for MK around the October mark, and Rob Elliott came in. I think that when we got promoted, we kind of talk a little bit about last season. We kind of sneaked into that seventh place, and an unbelievable playoff campaign, breaking all the records there was, 8-1 aggregate win, and then winning 2 at Wembley. And we're kind of like, hang on a minute, we're in League One now. We've kind of no planning for it. So, and then obviously a lot of our players left in the summer to go on to better things, whether it be for decent wages or release clauses. So yeah, look, if we stay out this season, it will be as big an achievement, I think, as getting promoted last season in the first place. So yeah, not many Crawley fans would have expected to be doing anything other than having a relegation dogfight. So yeah, yes, not ideal, that kind of gap that's starting to create at the bottom, especially when we've got the likes of you and Wickham to play coming up, and another long trip to Blackpool in a couple of weeks. But we're still in there. We're a couple of wins away from getting out of there, and you never know what can happen in this league, can you? And we've been in most games. We've been in most games this season. So, yeah, we've got hope. We have hope.
Absolutely. Yeah, I must say, I think, no disrespect to you, but when we were doing our League One predictions at the start of the season, obviously my biggest worry for Crawley Town was seeing how many players that they'd let go from that promotion season. There was obviously a significant number. I mean, you can't blame the club for that, but there are a significant number of players that were let go. Was that a worry for you coming into this season and starting the season, I should say? And has January provided? Obviously, Ronan Darcy is the latest that I've seen that's made way. But has those gaps been filled, or is there still a little bit of a worry over the squad?
Yeah. January probably hasn't gone as most Crawley fans would like, to be honest with you. We've strengthened a little bit. We signed a good centre half from Derby and Ben Radcliffe, and he's done well. We signed him right at the start of the window, and he's slotted in well. But yeah, we've lost quite a bit of experience. Jay Williams, MK Dons, Rowan Darcy, as you mentioned, and got a few players in. We've just signed a Canadian international from the MLS. So it'll be interesting to see how he hits the ground running. This time last year, we signed Jeremy Kelly from the America, and everyone's like, "Who's this guy?" And he went on to be one of our best players last season. So hopefully, the lad we signed from MLS does the same thing. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say we've strengthened as we'd like. We've got some good players, and we're playing all right. I mean, I thought we played really well against Wrexham, despite losing 2-1, and actually lost in the last minute. Yeah, we just need to finish teams off. To be honest with you, when we get those clear cut chances, put them away. In this league, if you don't do that, you're not going to pick up results.
Absolutely. A very, very fair assessment. And what we'll do now is we will head over onto our team news section. And of course, as always, thank you all for your comments. We'll pull some up just after we do our injury update. But if you've got any questions or things you want us to chat about, then feel free to send those in as well. But injury update is coming your way. So then, in the Crawley Town camp, what are things looking like from a team news perspective? I will be absolutely amazed if your injury list is anywhere near as long as that of our last preview show, which was with Northampton Town. I've never heard anything quite like it. But what's it looking like in Crawley?
Well, we haven't got a very big squad, so even if we had a lot of injuries, we'd be in big trouble, really. Probably one of our best signings in the summer, Josh Flint, plays left side of the back three. He's been out injured for a few months now. He's still injured. Toby Malarkey, who's played most of the season on the right of the back three, he's out injured as well. So we're kind of shoehorning Charlie Barker into the left of the three. That's Richie's son, who's at Derby. But we signed him from the National League, and he's kind of slotted in well in League One. But yeah, he's kind of playing out of position. So yeah, two of the back three are out injured. In terms of midfield, I can't think of any other injuries we've got at the moment. Really, it's just kind of a thin squad. We kind of need those two back really to strengthen at the back. We've had a few niggles and that, but most people are back firing fit now. So yeah, if we can get those two players back at the back three, we might keep some more clean sheets.
Fantastic news. And speaking of squad personnel-wise, just before we dive into a Wanderers team news, obviously you mentioned that those players making way and you've actually not recruited as strongly as you would have liked to in January. But who's a player that Wanderers fans should keep an eye out for and perhaps be on the lookout for causing some trouble on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see we play at wing back. So we play 3-5-2 with the wing backs quite high, and we often mix it up a bit. So we've got a young lad called Junior Armando who nearly went to Argentina in the window. Not sure if he'll play or not. But he's a threat. We've got Adi Adiemo, who some Premier League teams are watching. We signed him from the Isthmian League 18 months ago. He's quick and quite direct on the wing as well. Harry Force, another quick one out wide. Jeremy Kelly likes to boss it in the middle. American guy who'll just spin on the sixpence. So yeah, they're kind of those guys in the middle of the park and out wide can be quite a threat. And we've got a big, tall American lad called Tolis Romney who does a good job holding the ball up and isn't afraid to take a shot from outside the area like Charlton found out in December.
Yep. In your Wanderers camp, then things are looking relatively healthy once again. We seem to be on the better side of the injury front in recent weeks. Not to jinx us or anything, touch wood. But Rico Santos will miss this weekend's game. He won't be available. Obviously, he's been out for some time with a groin problem. You think he's had an injection, and will need some time to get back to games from that. But another one, Carlos Mendes Gomez, picked up a knock in training. Unfortunate for him, he can't seem to catch a break and get himself a good run in the team. And obviously, Kyle Dempsey being a long-term absentee won't make this game either. But on that front, on the injury front, I think we're doing okay. I don't think anybody else is out. George, obviously, with his suspension, which is disappointing. But Jay Matete is back after serving his 3-game ban. And all good on the Wanderers front. But we'll dive into some viewers' questions because we've had a couple that have come in for you. One of them being one from David, Crawley's favourite or famous ever player. Speaking from a personal perspective, any standout names for you?
Well, not many Bolton fans will know these players, but my favourite player when I was a kid was a guy called Ben Abbey, little striker, scored loads of goals. If I'm thinking modern day, Danny Bullman was one of the oldest players to play in the Football League, central midfielder, played for us in Wimbledon. Obviously, again, modern day, you got Matt Tubbs, who just scored 40 goals a season for us as we progressed through the leagues. So they're kind of my favourite players from over the years, but not many that Bolton would have heard of, I'm afraid.
That's okay. And another one from Jordan. How did you feel when you went through the signing of Mark Wright and then YouTuber's phase? Did it set the club back at all, or did it do Crawley good?
The Mark Wright one's funny because when we signed him, he actually played half a game against Harrogate, and I'm pretty sure we were 3-0 down at half time, and he got hooked. So I think Crawley fans were a bit frustrated because they're like, this guy's not good enough. You can tell that we've seen 3 goals, etc. Albeit not all his fault. But what was fantastic was that season, it was obviously COVID year. We've had Leeds at home in the FA Cup, and we beat them 3-0, which was unbelievable. Bear in mind they're a top championship team at the time with Bielsa in charge, and in injury time we brought him on as a sub. And it just felt like the best Mickey take ever, kind of Crawley hosting Leeds, and then we literally bring on this radio host as a sub, and I just thought that was great. So the Mark Wright thing was, he did actually play in a league game and then obviously play against Leeds. So, but if you're being serious, but fair play to Mark. Mark actually did play at a decent level as a youngster, and I think he was signed to actually try and get into the team. But I just think the standard and the level obviously kind of found him out. And Mark's brother played for us as well at the time, Josh Wright. Who I think plays for
Okay.
he used to play for Mill, and I think it's gone to Ebbsfleet. So, yeah, I think Mark wasn't just a PR stunt. I think he was signed to play, albeit it probably just didn't make the grade. In terms of the YouTubers, it's interesting. They never played for us. The PR was interesting at the time. It didn't really bother me because they didn't play for us. I think it drove PR for the club in the country and worldwide, really, because Jed had a 2-year deal, I think. But yeah, I think he might have made the bench for one of the EFL Trophy games. But yeah, I don't think it set us back. But it was just interesting. We got interesting owners come in, wanted to do the NFT and the crypto stuff, try different things. Didn't necessarily work out, but yeah, it was right.
Fair enough. And then one more we've had for another one from David. Who's Crawley's main rival? Is it Wimbledon?
Yeah, good question. Because obviously we've kind of gone through the leagues over the last couple of decades. When we were in non-league, our rivals were kind of like Dover and Hastings. Obviously quite local to us, just in Kent. When we were non-league,
Yeah.
as we kind of progressed into the National League, we had a lot of battles in the National League with Wimbledon trying to get promoted to the Football League, and because of the locality of the two teams as well, Wimbledon probably are deemed as one of our local rivals. Wimbledon wouldn't say that we're their rivals though, because obviously they've got MK Dons and Palace or
Yeah.
what have you. But yeah, Crawley fans would say potentially Wimbledon, and actually Luton as well. We had some ding dongs with Luton in the National League as well. At one point, we were both going well. So a lot of Crawley fans might say Luton as well. But yeah, we do like playing Wimbledon, and we beat them 1-0 last season in a massive game to kind of get us nearer to those playoff positions. So yeah, I'd say Wimbledon, Gillingham as well, maybe a little bit history of Gillingham, but Wimbledon the main one.
Gillingham, that's one hell of an away end, isn't it? Well, this evening's preview show has been fantastic. Before we head into our final segment of What's the Score, if anyone has got any more questions that they'd like to pop in the chat, there's plenty of you watching along, so thank you all for joining us very, very much. It's hugely appreciated you choosing to spend your Thursday evening with us. But we'll jump into What's the Score, and of course, as always, play along at home. Score predictions then for the weekend. Obviously, Schumacher's reign at Bolton Wanderers did not get off to the start that we all anticipated, with a 1-0 defeat on the road at Reading. Not quite the new manager bounce we were all hoping for, but hopefully there is a chance to put that right now with a home fixture against Crawley. Get your score predictions in at home. Sam, as you're the guest, we'll hand over to you first. No pressure. We'll put you on the spot. Score predictions for Saturday. How are you feeling?
So is it Schumacher's first home game in charge? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that doesn't bode well, does it? Well, it's interestingly, we've only played at your place once, and that was unfortunately during COVID. But we beat you 1-0. So this first time Crawley fans get to go to the stadium. Look, I mean, if you said to me now, we'll get a point, I'd snap your hand off for a point. So I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
Safe bet. We've had some comments in. Let's have a look. Who from? Matthew has gone for a 3-1 Wanderers win. Craig has gone 3-0 Whites. Ian has gone 3-1 Bolton. Jordan's gone for 2-0 Bolton win with a Lolos double. And CA, forgive me, I don't know your name. You've also had 2-2. So there's an interesting mix there. Some confident Wanderers fans. CA, forgive me, I've not seen your name in the chat before. I don't know whether you are a Wanderers fan or a Crawley fan. So you might be an optimistic Crawley fan or a not so optimistic Wanderers fan. We don't know. Personally, I'm gonna go for David. I'm gonna match what you've just said. You've inspired me with that comment. I'm gonna go for a Bolton Wanderers 2-0 win. Although I did say I think I said 3-0 on the Reading preview, and that wasn't didn't come to fruition even nearly. Wanderers fan in Hereford, there you are. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Sorry, I've not seen your name in the chat before, but thank you very much for joining us. So I'm going to go Bolton Wanderers 2, Crawley 0, and hopefully Sunday we'll bring you a 3-point podcast, the first of our time under Steven Schumacher. We'll see how that goes, though. We can never count our what's the saying? Count your eggs. Count your chickens. Never count your chickens, says about one just fan. I don't know what I'm saying. Count your eggs. Ignore me. Sunday, we will be back. Hopefully, a 3-point podcast. Until the next time, though, you've been tuned into the Fanzone pod. This is the preview show sponsored by Loving My Socials. Take care, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.